is Anita. Welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video on a wire technique, and I'll show you how to do this technique, and then you can take it on your own and use some beads from your stash. You can either make a bracelet or a necklace just using this particular technique. Super easy. And first of all, you're going to need some 24 gauge wire, which is what I have here in gold. And I've got 8mm pearl, and we're going to be wire wrapping this 8mm pearl right here, and you're going to need about 5 inches of your 24 gauge wire. And I've got some findings here just to show you how you can do these and put them together, but basically this is just a video on technique. And then these are all the tools you're going to be needing to use. I've got some a crimp tool here, round nose pliers, bent nose pliers, some chain nose pliers, flat nose, pair of wire cutters, and then I've got some nylon pliers to help smooth out the wire. Super simple to do, and I'll have links in the description box with the materials and where you can find some of the tools. Super easy to do. So let me clear my area and we'll get started. All right, to start our project, first of all, let me show you what we're doing today. This is the wire technique that we're going to be doing. It's a wire wrapping that you're going to do a little beyond what you typically know of just wrapping the coil here around the fastener. We're going to continue the wrap around to give it this fancy little look. Very simple to do. You just have to make sure that your wire is long enough to do this technique. So first of all, you need to cut a piece of 24 gauge wire, and I would say 5 inches. Beginner maybe do 6 inches to allow for error, but I've got about 5 inches here. I've got my nylon pliers, and basically this is just to take any kinks out. You just run it across your wire like so. Very simple. Then I've got a 8mm pearl here. You could do it with a 10 or a 12 even. Really, you can apply this technique to any stone, whether it's round, irregular shaped, or maybe it's a flat, thick bead. You can wrap anything using this technique. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to do a wire wrap loop at one end to start. So I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, coming down about 1 inch, like that. And I'm just going to bend this 90 degrees, just like that. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to place that right in the crook of the bend, right there. About 1/3 of the way up. I'm going to bring my wire towards me like that, and then down. And now I'm going to rotate my pliers towards the table, and then I'm going to pull this straight back, like so. So your loop should be somewhat centered with the look like this. Looks like a 90-degree angle because we're going to wrap this last part here. So now I'm going to take my bent nose pliers and my other chain nose pliers, and I'm going to hold on to this loop with my bent nose pliers. And these come in handy because it kind of gets the tool out of the way so that you can do your wire wrapping without running into the metal. So now I'm going to take my other pliers and I'm going to bring this around like so, and I'm going to wrap this about 3 times. So that's 1. And I'm going to bring it around again. That's 2. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm just going to bring this up that's 3. Just like that. Very simple to do. Now I want to cut this little piece off. So I'll take my wire cutters and I'm just going to turn this so that I can reach that and cut it as close as you can, like so. And hold your fingers over it so the wire doesn't go flying. So I've got a little jagged piece here. So now I'm going to take my crimping tool, and you can do either the first or second notch, and just kind of squeeze this sharp edge down so it's not poking out. Like that. Just come around, give it a gentle squeeze. And this is a pretty soft wire, so if your loop bends, you can just bend it back. So there is our first step. So now we're going to take our pearl and we're going to string that on like so. And now we're going to start to coil the other side. So to start, I'm going to take my skinny flat nose pliers and place that right above the pearl. Just like that. And I want to bend this 90 degrees straight down. Like that. So you should have a little bit of space there because we need some room to do our wrap. So now we're going to take our round nose pliers and we're going to place that in the crook of the bend just like we did the first half. I'm going to bring this around just like that and then out towards the table like so. So that's what you should have. So from here I'm going to take my bent nose pliers, hold on to that loop like so, and I'm going to now wire wrap by taking the other end with my pliers like that. I'm going to pull that towards the table and around. That's one loop. I'm going to wrap it again. And then I'm going to bring it around and wrap it again. About 3 loops or so. It doesn't have to be perfect. And if it gets messy while you're wrapping, that's certainly fine. So this is what it should look like so far. We've got that wrapped around. So I'm going to hold this, and now I'm going to kind of do this by hand. I'm going to wrap this around the pearl like so, just to get it to drape until I can get to the other side like that. And I'm going to get this started around by pushing it up and around like so. Now I'm going to flip this around and hold the other end with my bent nose pliers. And now I'm going to use my tool and I'm going to pull this wire around like so. Just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can call this a messy wrap, but you're going to have a decorative coil look around your pearl. So from here, all we have to do now is cut off our wire. So take your wire cutters and just trim that as close as you can, like so. Now take your crimping tool and you want to squish down that edge that's sticking out. So just kind of let it continue wrapping around And just turn this as you're squeezing, like so, to make that disappear. And just check it, make sure there's no sharp edges. If you're making a bracelet, you certainly don't want anything sticking out. Somebody might snag a sweater like that. So just make sure all the rough edges are down. So that is how you do this particular wire technique to do a decorative wrap around your pearl. Isn't that pretty? Now, I'm going to show you how you would apply this. Now, this is what I did on several of them with the wire wrap, and it really gives it a decorative look instead of just having plain old pearls strung on an eye pin. So what I did was I just connected these with 4mm jump rings. So I'll show you that real quick because this is all about technique. So I'm going to take, let's see, we'll do this one here. This is a 4mm jump ring, and I'm just going to open this up by twisting this towards me, like so. And you just put it on one end and place it on the other loop. Now, the thing I wanted to mention, which I forgot to tell you, is you want to make sure that your loops are parallel to each other like this, so that you don't have one turned. You want to make sure they're both flat the same direction. Notice, like that. And the reason is when you're doing a bracelet like this, you don't want it to twist and kink on you. All right, so that's important to do. So now I'm putting my jump ring on, just like that. And then you're just going to close that. Very simple to do. So I'm going to go ahead and fasten this last one. And this ended up being just about 6 inches. And so use your judgment if you're using this technique to make a bracelet. Measure as you go along so you know whether, if it's long enough and you just need an embellishment, maybe you can add a little spacer at the end, and then you can attach your lobster clasp, which I'll go ahead and do that here to show you. So we'll add this other jump ring on one end. And then I'll put my lobster clasp through here, like so, on my bracelet, and close. And without this extra piece, with my lobster clasp, it's measuring 6 inches. So if you just wanted to go that far, because I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pearls, and these are 8mm. So it's up to you how you want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and add this last one. And then your other choice is, if it's not quite long enough and you don't want to add any pearls, you can certainly do a extender chain at the end. And that way it's adjustable. So that's another neat tip for you. All right, so that one's on, and I'll add my last jump ring. This is a 6mm for the fastener. Put this on. And like I said at the beginning of this video, if you don't have round pearls, you can do this with any beads in your stash. Maybe you have fire polish. You could certainly do this with a fire polish faceted stone, English cut, lots of different ways that you can apply this wiring technique. So let's close this up so you can see what it looks like. Very pretty. And that's all using a very simple wire technique just to decorate your pearl, and it really gives it a classy look to see that extra swirl surrounding the pearl. So there you have it. This concludes today's tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed this video. So check the description box. If you click more below this video, you'll see all the details, including where you can find some of the materials and the tools that you need. Also, if you're not a subscriber, I hope you do subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload new videos. Also, leave me a comment and tell me what you think. Tell me if this is helpful, and let me know if you've tried to apply this to any new projects. Pretty cool. I also want to thank any of you who have subscribed and you keep sharing my links. Thank you so much for coming back. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Happy beading, and I'll see you next time.